Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back for another episode of Discovering Lake County. Today, I am sitting down, and I'm at a bar, and I'm not drinking.
Yeah, not drinking yet.
Well, yeah, I guess we could discuss that.
We can get into that right now.
So I'm at Black Lung with Josh. How are you, buddy?
Doing good, man. Thanks for coming out.
Oh my God, it's a pleasure to be here. I personally have never been here before, and walking in the door, this is a really cool facility.
We've tried to. We like to tell people that we provide tasty craft beer and free vibes.
Free vibes.
Yeah.
Is that like the free smells you get?
I stole it from them. Yeah.
That's good.
Jimmy John.
I prefer vibes over smells.
It's vibes. Yeah. I think the vibes are better play.
Okay, so let's start this. A lot of mistakes I make when I do a podcast is that I assume people know things, right? So,
right.
So I want to go back, first of all. Tell me about the opening and how you found this location.
Well, I could go back even farther, and
Sure.
I maybe even talk about like the name a little bit, because sometimes that turns people off from us. And so we're a stories-based brewery. So our name comes from a story that my grandfather used to tell about growing up and how he almost died in a cave-in down in Kentucky when he was mining after World War II. And because he got out and was able to go on with his life, he decided to move up here to Illinois to work at Johnson Motors and be a little bit safer for his career. Well, that story was told to my wife. She knew about it, and then we talked about one day she was just at the house cleaning, and we're trying to figure out what the name of the brewery was going to be. And we were coming up with all kinds of ideas, but none of them really spoke to me. And she heard this song by Joe Bonamassa called Black Lung Heartache. And she just said, "Josh, it just reminds me of your grandpa's story and the decision he had to make and moving up to Illinois." And I think that's the name of the brewery, Black Lung.
That's awesome.
And that's where it came from. So, we grew the company. We were brewing and distributing out of Zoom Beer in Waukegan when we first opened up. We were just doing distribution only. And I was out driving around, dropping off beer to accounts, and then coming south from Antioch, Antioch Fine Wine. Drove by here and saw this building available on Route 83. Right, we're right next to Love and Ovens and Ron's. It's a really cool little corner. We got food options and stuff. And I had a little history in Round Lake Beach. I bought my first house here and stuff, so I went and talked to the mayor at the time. And I talked to the administration and said, "Hey, what do you think of a brewery here?" And they loved it, so they got on board real quick. And the owner of this building loved the idea of having a brewery on this corner, so it all really worked out pretty nice.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what, 21? Did you say?
That was 2020. That was actually during the pandemic. Because while it was going on, I'm thinking like, well, it'll end soon. So we'll open a brewery and be ready to go when it's over. And sales had dipped for us during the pandemic in distribution because every brewery got into distribution during the pandemic. So the market really got flooded with beer, and that hurt us. Everybody got hurt by it, and it was kind of my thought process was, well, it's fine. Like, I didn't have a lot of overhead tied up in it at the time, so I could just take a little break and focus on building a tap room and be ready to go when the pandemic would eventually end, which was 8 months longer or something like that. Yeah.
I love your vision in that, because I don't think everybody else was bitching and moaning and everything was closing down and they were worried about how they're going to make it. And here you are at home planning for when everything reopens. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a big positive way to look at things.
I mean, it had to end, right? Like that. Yeah. You had to think about it at the time. I didn't realize it would last that long, but nobody did. So yeah. But we were poised to open. As soon as the governor said we could have people in, we did, and we would have 15 or so people in at a time, space them out. We were doing reservation only at our grand opening, and it was a tough way to open. We weren't able to maximize our space or anything, but I had some caveats in the lease at the time to help us financially through the slow opening back up of everything. So it was not terrible.
No. All right, so because when I walked in here, first of all, like the way that you have from the decorations to everywhere. The ambiance in here is really cool. So obviously I got a little tour to walk around.
Yeah.
But tell me like some of the things that are inspired from the art, from the names of different things. So you really made it personal for you.
Very. So I'm kind of into a lot of things. I think I've learned through my children that I have ADHD, and probably very much so and undiagnosed. But I am I've always just kind of considered myself like a jack of all trades, master of none. I kind of I'm into everything. Yeah. Big things I'm into are music and art, and different times in my life I was really heavily focused on those. And so having the brewery has been kind of like perfect for that for me, because I now have the ability to kind of bring all my loves, all the things that I spend my time on into the business. And so we support local art here, and we have art up on the wall that is from local artists. We teamed up with, we were doing this early on, like our first year. I was having local artists come in and they would take the wall over. We got this nice big barnwood wall, one corner of our brewery, that we hang up about 10 to 12 pieces a month. And we were doing that for a while, and then Grays Lake Arts Alliance got involved, and they were starting to find locations that wanted to host their artists' work, and I jumped on board with that, and I think they do a wonderful job. So they kind of run it now, and I'm kind of hands off, and I just come in and meet the artists, and we do a party for them when they put their work up, and a meet and greet, and then we have like our open mic, and it's fun. Yeah. So then one of those artists, Holly Rogalowski, she did our mural. So we've got this really fantastic mural along the border, upper part of our wall inside, and it's the brewing process. So it's barley and hops, and then you've got the mill and the hot liquor tank and the boil kettle and everything to a glass of beer. It all transitions to a glass of beer.
It's in order.
It's all in order.
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. And she put figure numbers and everything on there, so you can kind of sit here and see how beer is made just by looking at the walls.
That's really cool.
But it's also like I'm a huge music fan and a musician. Big fan of the band Tool and their artwork. So she kind of did it in the stylings of their artists, and it's all like black lights, so we put black lights in. It's like black light paint, so it shows different features under the black light, and it's really got kind of a cool ambiance to it, I would say, and she did an amazing job on it.
That's awesome. Okay, so did you have guidance in that?
I did, yeah. I mean, so what she painted, I told her what I wanted, basically. I wanted it to be the grain and the hops and the brewing process, and then she kind of showed me the style that she was planning to use, and I just said, that's amazing, yes, do that, please. So she just a couple little sheets of paper, kind of what it was going to look like, and I was on board right away.
Yeah, I love the mural behind you.
Oh,
like the big one there.
Yeah, we can't forget about that one.
That one's awesome.
That's probably the one that people see the most on social media, because our bands play right there. So we've got the backdrop for the bands are our tanks that are part of our brew house, and then the mural, which is like a music-inspired mural for the band. So it's got Black Lung Brewing Company, and it's actually my wife's face that Holly used in that mural, and the notation for a Tool song, "Sober." So it's pretty cool. Very very much me.
Yeah, I would say you can't get more personalized than that, right?
Yeah.
That's a really, really cool way to do it.
Hi, Jody St. Mars. I'm here with Educators Advantage today because we are sponsoring Teacher of the Month. Do you know a teacher that needs a little extra love and support this time of the year? Of course you do. Nominate your teacher that has gone above and beyond. Click the link below, fill in their information, and they will be eligible to win some amazing prizes. Thank you to all of our educators out there that are doing the hard work each and every day.
So right behind the mural are all your tanks.
Yeah.
Right? So, and looking at the tanks, I was, first of all, blown away by what you have here, but I love how you name them as well.
Yeah. We're all, again, so big metalheads. So we got all our tanks, and they have numbers too, but we actually gave them like an identity. So we've got some of my favorite guitarists over the years: Randy Rhoads, Tony Iommi, Dimebag Darrell. We got Adam Jones and Tom Morello, a couple local favorites. So yeah, we think it's fun. Music kind of infects us all. So it's part of the fabric of the brewery.
It is, and so I'm glad that you said that to kind of segue to about things that I'm always impressed with breweries and places that are open, that there's always something going on here.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm looking at your schedule, so give people an idea of like what a week looks like on a normal week.
Oh, I mean, if you're coming here as a patron, a normal week for the Round Lake location, because we have two. We have Fox Lake, and we can talk about that too, but it's similar out there. We've got stuff going on every night we're open. We're open Tuesday through Sunday. Mistaken. We're open Wednesday through Sunday. Tuesday's our cleaning day, so we're there, but you're not. Wednesday nights here in Round Lake Beach, we have trivia with Rob, and we host that in-house.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Rob's one of my partners and brews all the beer and does trivia for us, and he's a lot of fun. Nothing like trivia with English humor, that's the way to go. And then Thursday night is our long-standing open mic. We do that with Kent Lewis. We get people from all over the county, from Wisconsin, that come down and jam with us. It's a lot of fun. We do live music every Friday, pretty religiously. Live music every Friday night, and then we're doing live music some Saturdays. Not every Saturday right now. But as the weather improves and people are coming out more, we'll start doing more of that for the summertime. Wow. And Sundays is kind of like a chill day.
We're recording this on a Sunday morning, by the way.
They're kind of a chill day. We'll do like vinyl. We'll play some vinyl. And
I saw that. That was really cool.
You bring your records in and we'll play them, And,
that's cool.
And we got like a happy hour from like noon to 3, so you can come and have a beer, listen to a record. And we'll play the whole record. If there's a bunch of people here with vinyl, we'll probably play one side. But if it's just you, we'll play your records. So come in and hang out and do that. But the first Sunday of every month, we have our bluegrass open jam, and that is a fun time. It's like a jam circle, quite literally a jam circle. And Lucky Pickers runs that, and they have all the people that show up from all over. I mean, we get people from Wisconsin, all over Illinois. And they'll stand right here, make a circle, and play bluegrass songs.
That's got to be super fun.
It's in the summertime. We move it out into the tent, so it's the garage door goes up. They go out into the tent, and they're all just out there jamming. It's fantastic. That's
really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you're here, open in 21, going through. Obviously, you were doing okay.
Yep.
So I'm sure as a business owner, like when you do stuff,
like
when do you actually make that? How does Fox Lake happen?
Well,
did you just not have enough to do?
I think, I mean, I had enough to do. I promise you that. I think that we have a small tap room here, and I felt like we weren't brewing to our capacity, and the reason was like we just weren't moving enough product through the tap room. And I'm not super interested in having like a large distribution network right now. I wanted to be more focused on the tap rooms, and my thought process was, well, if we have a really busy spot like on the waterfront in Fox Lake, that opens us up to a whole new clientele, because we're bringing craft beer to Fox Lake, and we have this really cool spot on the water that's going to help us so we can actually brew more beer, fill our tanks more often, and be in a fun spot and kind of right on the water, and having boats pull up, and outdoor concerts, outdoor shows, and it's really a fun spot. So
now, when did you open Fox Lake?
We opened over there July 1st of 2023.
2023. So you've been there quite a while.
Yeah, a couple years now.
Wow.
Almost. Yeah.
Okay, that's got to be super fun. So people that don't know where that is, explain it to, like, what road is it off of?
So it is right on Lake Nippersink, right on Nippersink Road, and if you are going westbound on Grand Avenue into town, and you take a right at the old Shell station, which is by the cinema, and you take Forest Avenue north to Nippersink Road, and take a left on Nippersink Road and go down the big hill, and we're right down there at the bottom. And it's a cool hill to drive down because you see, especially at like dusk, or like you see the sun setting over Lake Nippersink while you're coming down the hill, and you're just like, oh my goodness, this is an amazing spot. Awesome. It really is.
How did you find that spot?
Well, I was very interested in opening a tap room on the waterfront.
Yeah.
I wanted that for our brewery. And I had reached out to Mayor Donnie in Fox Lake and just let him know that we had interest in it, and if anything ever came up, to keep us in mind. And they did. The builder there for the Randolph Hotel, they gave him my number, and he called me up, and we met up and talked about having us in that spot.
Cool. It's kind of fun when things go. I'm sure not everything has been completely smooth, but it sounds like your journey has been.
At the end of the day, it's a 100-something-year-old building, and it has lots of problems. And as much construction as they did on it, they didn't do enough. And we've had some problems with leaky pipes and heat not keeping up and things like that. But it's been addressed as much as it can be, and we're plugging away. Yeah. Doing pretty good over there.
Nice. So that's got to be fun. So you have to be. Where do you bounce back and forth, or do you spend your time at?
I do. I do bounce back and forth. I think depending on who's beer tending and what our musicians are, what events we got going on, find me at either spot. Fridays we do brewery in Fox Lake, so I'm there and I host that.
Okay. Does that mean you're singing too?
Not necessarily the person who should be singing, but I give it my all.
Right. Well, that's cool though.
Yeah. You know what I do is I like to inspire people to get up and sing, and when they see me do it and how terrible I am at it, they're like, yeah, I can't do worse than that. So then they'll come up and sing too. I also think maybe they get up and sing just so that I'll stop.
Sure.
Yeah.
And put a stop to this,
fine.
Right?
It's fine.
How is the entertainment schedule there different from here in Round Lake?
So we are getting ready for the lake, music by the beach. The Fox Lake Village of Fox Lake, their park district hosts that every year for the whole summer. Every Friday night they'll have live bands in the park, which is walking distance to our brewery. So we'll be down there on Fridays with them, with our trailer, selling beer and things like that. And then we'll do karaoke. Excuse me.
You're fine.
We'll do karaoke on Friday nights. And then on Saturdays, we do live music over there. So we'll have live music depending on the weather. It could be down by the waterfront, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay, you're a busy guy. You have a lot going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that takes a lot of upfront planning. I keep Excel spreadsheets and stuff. It's all manageable. As long as people show up when they're supposed to, then you're good.
True.
When they don't, then it's like a fire drill.
Right. No, that's kind of fun. And you're a father of 4.
I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
How old are your kids now?
I've got boy, girl, and they're 15, 13, 10, and 7. Almost 7. Yeah.
And when you look at businesses that run like this, there's no way that you could do all of this without having a very supportive wife as well.
She's an angel. Yeah. If you know my wife, you know that she speaks her mind. She spits the truth, and she's an awesome mom. And I can't say enough good things about her. She's allowed me to pursue this, and when I say allowed, I mean like somebody's got to pick up the slack because I'm here doing this all the time now. So she's mowing the lawn and shit too, which was not what we signed up for, right? So I've been getting back more into the fold with that stuff now that this is kind of launched and we're not in like build up phase so much anymore. But I have a 15-year-old now, so he's helping out. So it's a family effort having a business like this.
Yeah, it is. And anybody that's run a business or had anything to do with it, they know how important that is to make everything work.
Yeah, my kids are great. The older ones will watch the younger ones. They do their chores. Charlie started to take care of the lawn and some of the shoveling and stuff like that in the wintertime. So,
well, that's why we have kids, right?
Yeah.
That's what they're supposed to do.
I mean, they got to do some work. They got to learn that, right? Like, it's important. I did that stuff.
I know we did. It's harder to get kids to do it these days.
I mean, they're fine. They do it. They don't. They complain. I complain too. It's normal.
That's life.
Yeah.
Right? I was speaking with someone last night. I was DJing an event, and I mentioned Black Lung, and they're like, "Hey, you know the coolest thing they have there?" And I'm like, "What?" So what's the deal with you? Like, is there a membership or a club where you've got a mug?
Yeah, our Mug Legion.
Legion. Okay.
Yeah, so you pay to be a part of the Mug Legion. You get a mug, and it stays here all year, and that's your mug when you come in and drink. And you take it home with you at the end of the year, and it comes with some discounts and stuff like that for the year. We just did like a shirt buy for members that wanted to jump in on it. We did a hockey jersey, so those are actually here, and I got to give them out to the guys. I got to give them a call.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's just a way to be more of a part of what we're doing here. You know, it's like, I would call it like super patronage, where you don't just show up here and have a beer. You're a member, and you come in, and we know you, and you have your mug on the shelf, and you're getting all of our gear before anybody else can get it, and your options to buy things earlier, and and you're getting special notes when things are coming out. So it's a cool little thing that we do, and we do quarterly parties with them too. We'll just have pizza, and guys come out, and we'll do some discounts and stuff like that. So
that's cool.
It's a lot of fun.
And I love that, because especially these days, like, you know, because I frequent different taverns and I go to different places, but it's a nice when you have somewhere to almost like, this is your home base, right?
Yep, you got a home base. Yep.
Loyal customers that come in.
They're great. And like our Mug Club, our Legion, they're the first ones to promote us when they go out. They're always like, hey, let me get some stickers. I'm going to Miami for the weekend, and I'm going to put Black Lung stickers on all the breweries down there. Yeah. That's fun. You know, that's a fun thing about the brewery life.
Right.
You know, it's like saying, yep, I'm here trying your place out, but this is my home brewery, and this is, you know, it's part of the I keep saying fabric today, but it's part of the fabric of our lives, right? Like,
it is.
Our brewery is kind of like our local stomping ground, our watering hole now. And there's stuff going on here. There's events, there's video games, there's pinball, so there's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I think I saw a Pac-Man machine behind me here.
Yeah, sorry, I'm losing my voice.
It's fine.
It's it's probably a hangover from Breweryoke on Friday night.
I'd love that.
Yeah, Pac-Man's fun, man.
Right.
Yeah, everyone knows Pac-Man.
And that's any place that I walk in has a Pac-Man machine and a pinball machine.
Yeah.
Hey, I think you should feel it.
Not just any pinball machine.
Oh, which one is it?
We have the Metallica pinball machine. This is like the pinball machine of pinball machines. Everybody wants this pinball machine.
Right. And why is it here and not in your basement?
Well, you know, I think it's nice to share things. You know,
that's nice. Yeah. I wouldn't share.
It's pretty fun.
Okay, I want to come back and talk about beer. Okay, so we talked about like how you open and things like.
Yeah.
So what were you doing when you decided that you wanted to dabble in making beer? Like, how does that?
That's a really great question.
How does that happen?
So it happens. My day job is elevators, so I was traveling around the country working for an elevator company.
Okay.
Trying to train guys and stuff like that. And in the evenings, I was going and getting dinner at local breweries. So I'm out in Denver hitting breweries. I'm in Columbus, Ohio, going to breweries. I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, going to breweries, and I'm just like, I really love these breweries. Like, this is like a excellent life. I want to do this. So then I bought a kit. I already had some stuff, and I brewed a beer, and it wasn't bad. It was like everyone I gave it to was like, hey, it's pretty good. Good job.
Yeah.
Should brew another one. So I was hooked, I can brew things that people like, and
right.
And then learning recipe development and learning the history of beer, Michael Jackson, kind of like the amount of beers that were out there that were dead or dying or not around, and I could explore that as a home brewer, and I was just like really, really hooked. And I was brewing. I would brew some weird beers, and then I would try to brew a normal historical beer, which is Left Fork, which is an award-winning beer now for us, Craft Beer and Brewing's top 20 beer of the year. is a historical American beer. It's a Kentucky Common, and it's not a widely brewed beer. It's not something you can really find in too many places. I think when we brewed that beer, there might have been 2 in the state of Illinois that I knew of. I think there might be 4 now, maybe, that I know of.
Wow.
And there could be more, but excuse me. So yeah, it was just a chance to try different flavors by brewing them myself, and it just was like a disease or a hook. It was like a good disease, I guess. It was like infected my mind, and I just wanted to brew, and that's all I really wanted to do for a long time. So
turned hobby into business.
Yeah, and at some point you're like, all right, what am I doing with this? I'm brewing. I'm home brewing, a couple times a week, and I got all this beer, and I can't drink it all. There's no way I'm drinking all. So I'd have a party and have people come over, and we would try to drink the beer, and that wasn't really enough. So then I started entering into like shows, where like beer tasting events and beer festivals, and everyone that comes up to you is like, "Oh, you should open a brewery. Oh, you should open a brewery." And I guess it got to me at some point. I was like, "Okay, maybe I will. I'll open a brewery." And at first we were really small, and it's just kind of grown over the years, bigger and bigger, and now it's like this behemoth of growth where it's like tough for one person to manage it all. So last year, 2024, I took on some partners, and now got Aaron and Rob. People probably see them around the brewery, and they're a huge cornerstone of what we do here now.
Sure, because it's got to be. There's so much to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you start, so I understand this because obviously, like over time, like craft beer festivals and all of these things have gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and I go to the one to Craze Lake. I think of the fairgrounds, all of these things. So when you were starting, did you brew your own beer and like bring it to festivals? Is that where you get it to, is that how you get it in front of people? I guess?
I mean that's what I did. The festivals would have like a homebrew alley or homebrew area, and I would. And I think I kind of determined early on, like after 2 years of brewing, I was like, I'm going to start a company, and even if I only ever brew beer and distribute, it'll be fun to have like a little side business of being able to brew beer and being part of the community. So I had my Black Lung Brewing flag and all my stuff already, and I was like, yeah, we're going to make a company out of it. And I think more than anything, it just got people to stop asking me to make a business out of it.
Nice that you could bring it forward.
Yeah, but I knew I wanted to do it too. So it was like, it was not for like, it wasn't in any kind of bad sense or anything like that. Like I knew I wanted to open a brewery. I just didn't know how big I wanted it to be yet.
So what was your first, like, when you know that you have a brewery, that you're going to do something like this? What is your, like, do you have like an original recipe? Like what is your like go-to one that the staple that you have to like start with? Well,
I mean, we didn't do it that way here. I did. I brewed what I was just into. That's when we first opened. I think we had like a couple hazy IPAs and a Left Fork. So just beers that I really truly enjoyed. Right. Lakeside Blonde was one that I came up with for opening here. It would be like our light beer at the time. It was quite fruity. So those were good for us, and they got us started out. Like Mr. Willie Sub for a Day is on draft right now. That's one of our hazies. Galaxy 503 is one of our hazies. That's what was popular like at the time, and I mean. Hazies are still really popular. Not as popular as they probably were 4 years ago. But IPA is still king in the craft world. So got to have IPAs on. And I've kind of taken a swing back more towards West Coast American-style IPA. So we're kind of keeping 1 or 2 of those on all the time now. But yeah, back when we opened, nobody was drinking those. They were just drinking hazy IPA or East Coast, yeah. So we had a lot of that. My go-to is definitely our Left Fork, which is our Kentucky Common. It's like I would compare it to like a brown lager, like a light brown lager. It's got corn in it, kind of like a Pilsner would, and or like a cream ale. Sorry, kind of like a cream ale, but darker. and that for me that's what I would drink. But hazies are still quite popular, so we're always innovating with new hops and different hop combinations and rolling stuff out. And so if you come here twice a month, you'll probably get 4 different hazy IPAs. I mean, that's how often we're changing them over.
Holy smokes!
And we usually have 2 to 3 on at a time, and you'll be able to try some different hop combinations. So it's for me as a patron, that was fun to go to a brewery and know what hops were in there and try to smell or taste the flavors that they say the hops taste or smell like, and see if I pick it up. We don't all pick it up. That's the thing. It's like what you learn in this business is that every person's like ability to taste and smell is very different from other people's. Like even within our brewing group, which is me, Rob, and Aaron, I'm really good at like for off flavors. I'm really good at picking up like dimethyl sulfite, which is like kind of like rubber tires or burnt rubber or kind of like Malort type of stuff, flavor and smell like that. I can pick that up pretty quick in a beer. I can't pick up diacetyl like very well at all. Diacetyl is like buttery popcorn.
Okay.
This is bad things you don't want in beer for the most part. Some diacetyl in the Pilsner is okay, but I don't like it. We try to steer away from anything like that. But Aaron, one of our partners here, he can pick it up immediately. Like he's a watchdog for it. So we all have very different like sensory things, and that can be fun when you're trying to pick up the fruit flavors or the the chocolate notes in a stout or the coffee notes in a stout, and knowing that we did that with just hops and with just grain. We're not unless we tell you differently. Some of our beers do have fruit in them, but like Max Headroom, one of our stouts that's on right now, is it has a bunch of black malt and caramel malts, and that's where all the coffee and chocolate flavors are coming from.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
There's like so much to it, right?
Oh yeah, there's layers and layers and layers. How far down the rabbit hole do you want to go? That's like it is like quite literally like the Matrix. And anyone who gets into home brewing and brewing in general, you can just keep on digging and find more information.
Right. Well, cool, because it constantly evolves, right?
It does.
So you can't get bored, right?
Yeah.
You can always try different things.
Yeah, it's a great industry for people who have very thoughtful minds, because there's so much information out there, and now I feel like we're living in like the best time ever for beer in the world, in the history of the world. We have the best ingredients. We have the best way to beta test our recipes, to the different awesome grains that we can get and all the amazing hops that we can get. This stuff wasn't always available, and if it was, it wasn't getting used, because at least in America there were only like a few different big breweries, and they were brewing the same beer over and over again. So now we can try all this different stuff, and there's a huge market for it, and we got to continue to cultivate it, because it just makes it fun, and it gives us different flavors and smells that we can drink.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and it's fun because every different brewery you go to, there's always something different, and you think about like just whether you go and just get a Coors Light somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you know, like when you have something here, like what went into it, how it was made. Like there's a lot of thought and care.
Most all of our ingredients are sourced in the U.S. So like our grain all comes from Proximity, which is grown out in like the Utah, Wyoming region. Our hops are mostly coming from Yakima Valley, so through Michigan Hop Alliance. So all of our stuff is sourced in the U.S. So we're keeping that money right here in the country, and it's great quality stuff, and we're getting super fresh beer. So you're coming here and getting a Lung Light. I mean, it might have just went into the kegs last week, Not this one batch currently is about a month on it, but it's going fast, and we're gonna have to brew it again really soon.
That's fun.
So there's nothing better than fresh beer. I mean, fresh beer right out of the fermenter in some cases is fantastic.
That's awesome. Okay, so usually like halfway through, if have you listened to many podcasts?
I have. I listened to a couple of them. Yeah,
Good.
I listened to Natter, and I listened to the Natter one. I listened to Jim.
Yeah.
Last week. So yeah, I've checked out a couple of them. Yeah.
Cool. So about halfway through, we do thing that we call the Lake County Hot Seat.
Okay.
But before we do the hot seat, I think that should we have a beer?
We
for
should
the hot seat?
have a beer.
Okay,
yeah.
we're just going to pause.
Yeah, we're gonna need to pause.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, your business deserves to be special. Don't let your neighbor's kid design your website. Don't spend hours trying to chase down the most recent social media trends. Don't just hope that your customers find you somehow. The Loop Marketing is a full-service marketing agency. We are a group of talented, creative, and experienced marketers who focus on high-touch customer service and results. Our clients think of us as their in-house marketing department with accountability and personalized strategies. We work with all kinds and all sizes of business, and we would love to work with yours.
All right, so we're poured.
Yep.
For people watching, this is the Lung Light.
This is Lung Light.
All
this
right.
is our light. It's technically, I call it a pseudo pilsner because it is actually ale yeast, but it drinks like a pilsner. It's super light, super refreshing, and it's a crusher. You know, you can pound these.
Yes. We should have done this the whole time. We could just
Yeah,
write
you know,
every
I
beer
was
that you
getting
have.
parched. I don't know if everyone heard that.
Yeah.
I was getting a little parched, and now I feel better.
Well,
Yeah.
good, because I was more concerned about your voice and how it was going rather than the alcohol consumption.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so for the hot seat questions, I got a couple just rapid fire questions.
Okay.
We get to learn a little bit more about Josh Grubbs.
I'll do my best.
All right. First car you ever owned?
First car I ever owned was a 1984 Pontiac Trans Am with T-tops.
Stop it.
And 118,000 miles on it.
But still awesome.
That I rode by it on my bicycle, and I went home and told my mom about it, and I said, I want that car. And she's like, oh, that's too expensive. We can't afford that. You know, I had been saving some money, and she was like matching me. And then I came home from school a few days later, and the damn thing was sitting in my driveway. I was like,
how
wow,
cool is that?
she went and got it for me. It was pretty cool.
That is awesome. What a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Trans Am, I'm a Trans Am sucker.
I mean,
so.
I've been a Pontiac Trans Am fan ever since. You know, my second car was also a Firebird. So,
Nice.
so now, I take my kid. I heard the gym conversation last week
Yeah.
with the Volo Museum. So I took my kids there this week for spring break. We went to, one of the things we did was go to Volo Museum, and I'm just in there gawking at all the Trans Ams, man. They're so cool.
It just doesn't get better than that.
I want to drive Kit right out of there from Knight Rider.
I got a 78 Trans Am in my garage, about 80% done.
Yeah?
Yeah. So
Oh, man, look at
anybody's
us.
listening that knows
Yeah.
how to fix the rest of my Trans Am, call me.
Yeah.
Because I need help.
I got
badly.
a guy. I might be able to help you out.
Awesome. I would appreciate that. First concert you ever attend?
Ozfest '98,
I see, I know you're a music guy.
Alpine Valley. Yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Wait, no,
90.
97. Sorry, 97. I got my
97.
driver's license that day. Yeah, got my driver's license and went to Ozfest.
Not a bad day. Not a bad day
I was
at all.
16.
Holy shit, that's great.
Just turned 16 and went up. I didn't drive there though. I went with a friend, but she took me to get my license, and then we went to Ozfest. It was fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fantastic. Did you play sport in high school?
I did. I played. I wrestled in junior high, and I played football for my freshman year in high school.
Where did you grow up?
Gurney and Waukegan area.
Okay.
I went to high school in Waukegan.
Okay, so you're at Waukegan High School.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Waukegan, West Campus.
Nice. Tell me a place you'd like to travel that you haven't been.
That I would like to travel that I have not been.
Yep.
Well, Germany.
Germany.
Yeah, I want to go to Germany and kind of do like the beer tour.
I was going to say, go drink beer.
Yeah, that's really all I want to do. Like, my wife and I were planning that before we had kids, and then we started having kids, and we haven't made it over there. So
Okay, put that on your list.
we're
Just
going to
make
have
sure
to
you
make it
do
happen.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. If you had to have a superpower, what would it be?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Superpower, maybe mind bullets.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'd take that.
Just like knock things over when I look at them.
I have never had anybody answer it that way. I absolutely love it.
I just thought about Tenacious D, man. The power to move people.
It's funny. I had a conversation about Tenacious D last night, and I don't think that's happened twice to me, but that's hilarious.
Well, Jack Black lives a little bit inside of all of us, doesn't he?
He does. And if he doesn't live inside you, he should.
You should think about it.
Yes.
You should think about where you're at in life.
Fantastic. I'm going to listen to Tenacious D on the way home. What do you wish you learned sooner in life?
That it's okay to honestly, I don't mean to get super deep here, but it's okay to talk about your feelings and how things that you got going on in your mind, and share that information with other people so they don't just think that you're a bottled up mess.
It's true, and not enough people do it.
Yeah, I mean that's just a little bit of reality, but much of my life, I would keep a lot of stuff to myself, and I've learned in 17 years of marriage that doesn't work. So it's been a growth and thing that, especially since I've had children, learning how to communicate better and let people know what you have going on, so that there's some understanding.
Well, and the funny thing is that you're being vulnerable right now, saying that, but part of life is being vulnerable and teaching your kids it's okay to be vulnerable as well.
I honestly think COVID changed me in a lot of ways with that stuff. I was very, in my day job, I'm very regimented and structured, and I do elevators still during the daytime, and you have to you're just, everything is very regimented, I guess, and planned out. It's construction, so everything is a schedule, and if you can operate by those rules, you can be very efficient in getting things done. But life doesn't work that way.
No,
there's no schedule like that.
No, and you can plan as much as you want.
It's just not going to be.
Never know what shitstorm is around the corner either, right?
Yeah, it's not going to be what you planned.
Tell me something on a bucket list besides travel. I know travel to Germany. You got anything on your bucket list that you really want to do?
Boy, that's a good one.
Because you've done some awesome things. You open a bunch of things, and you get to live your dream.
I would say, well, if you know me, you know that I fully intend to get my pilot's license one day. So
okay.
I have flown a plane. I've even landed a plane. I had a guy talk me through it, Don Herring. He owned Chain Lakes Plumbing back when I was working for the local city engineer here. We went up in a plane, and we were taking photos of the job sites and stuff, and some of Don's, and then he's like, "You want to fly the plane?" I said, "Sure." So then it was a little, I don't even know, it's a high wing, so the wing was on top, one of those little planes. And he talked me through. He said, "Flying the plane for a little while." He's like, "Want to land the plane?" And I was like, "No, Don, that's fine. You land the plane." "Nah, you do it." And then let his controls go and basically forced me to land the plane.
Wow, cool.
And I did, and I'm here still today. So
that
was really cool. Really cool thing that happened. And so I have flown a plane, but I want to get my pilot's license and just be able to go rent a plane and jump across a couple states and go. That'd be kind of cool to be able to do.
Yes. That's awesome. I love to know random facts about people, because that's one of the fun things.
I have a Mug Club member named Paul who flew for United Airlines, just retired after 30 years. And so I'll sit and pick his brain about flying and stuff. To him, it's like nothing, it's like no big deal. But to me, it's pretty cool, man. You're a pilot. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fascinating, right? Just to get to do that. But that's their job, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of
it's normal for him. Yeah.
Right. Tell me about the second time you got arrested.
I was ready for this one.
Okay.
So, I was.
I love people that answer this, by the way.
Yeah, it's okay. I've been arrested. I was juvenile though, so those records should be sealed. But
sure. Until now,
there's an open door on the old Ames building in Waukegan, and me and my cousin were in there, and just checking the place out, and shouldn't have been in there, and then then the cops came in, and then we got arrested. So
yeah, some people just call that exploring.
Yeah, well,
some breaking and entry and
dumb
stuff.
15-year-old kids, nothing better to do, you know.
Exactly.
So,
and looking back.
Yeah, so keep your kids busy. Find something for them to do.
Have you ever eaten a roller dog from a gas station?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
There's certain kind of people in this world that I want to hang out with, and one, they have to be.
You got to be able to, that's your only option, man. Yeah,
yes,
the taquitos and the hot dog. And
after a road trip, I mean, what's
don't
better
eat the
than
sausage, though. Don't ever eat that sausage that's there.
That's not a good thing. What's the likelihood that Bigfoot exists?
I'm not, 75% chance. I feel like everything that we've ever thought was possibly not possible, actually, like the aliens thing and all the information that's being dumped on us, like, you know what? Like, let's not close any doors here. No. Everything's a possibility. But I'll say this, America, is when we find out that aliens are real, let's use it as a rallying point and not a divisive point.
I think we all need to gather around that, yes. Especially with all the division in America right now, we can bring everybody together.
Might be time to come together.
Maybe it could be over Bigfoot, too, even if it's not an alien.
I think, if Bigfoot is, what are our thoughts on Bigfoot? Does he talk? Is he a man? Is he just like a big bear person walking that's skinny?
Yeah. Like, I feel bad.
And what is the significance, even if he does exist? Like, who cares?
And I have a 6-foot statue of him in my front yard, 900-pound concrete statue.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny to still people walk by and take pictures.
It's pretty rad.
Yeah,
it's pretty rad. Yeah.
You have to be different, right?
Yeah.
But I think maybe Bigfoot will be discovered or aliens, and then it's going to bring the United States together.
Yeah.
And then all our problems are solved.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yes.
Done.
That's good.
Done deal.
Okay. See, me and you got this shit figured out.
We figured it out.
That's all we needed. There's a morning beer, and we have everything taken care of.
If more people drink in the morning, it would be a better existence.
Yes, and I want to go on, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
That's true. Yeah. And it is 5 o'clock somewhere.
It is. That's very true as well. I like this other one. I don't think I've mentioned. I used to do it in the motorcycle podcast that I used to do. What's the fastest you've ever gone in a vehicle?
Well,
without your kids listening.
That I was driving?
Yeah, sure. If you're driving, yeah.
Or
both. Give me both.
I mean, there was that plane, so that was pretty fast.
For sure.
I think I've had my motorcycle up to maybe 110.
Okay.
115.
What kind of motorcycle you got?
It's a 2003 Honda VTX 1800.
Nice.
It's kind of a rocket ship with wheels on it.
Yeah. No. So you're looking forward to summer coming. At least you can cruise that around.
Yeah, I haven't had it out much lately. It's probably time, though.
Yeah.
Get an oil change, get it back on the road a little bit.
No,
I think, like having 4 kids, I've limited my motorcycle riding these days.
And that usually happens. Those kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for answering a bunch of those. So there's 2 things I want to cover. One is that I want to talk about like specialty beers you make. We were talking about I love to hear stories about how either people give back to a cause or you help community in some way, and I know that you've done that.
Absolutely, yeah. We most recently we teamed up with we did a donation to the Lions Club of Antioch, and they raffled that off, and it was won by a gentleman who shared it with the local running group, Raza Run Club.
Yeah,
and we ended up brewing a beer with those guys, and it's in the tank right now. It's going to be a Mexican dark lager, kind of like
an experience that you guys raffled off?
Yeah, so we raffled off an experience to come brew a beer with us, and we'll name the beer, together, and we'll pick the beer style together, and that's awesome. Exactly what we did. So we picked the beer style. They wanted to do like a Modelo Negro style dark lager. So that's what we did, and we named it for Raza. So it's and it's in the tank right now, and it's going to be coming out here in the next couple of weeks in time for Cinco de Mayo.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other question I had was, I know that we were walking by the cooler, and what was the can that you showed me?
I showed you. So we did a collaboration with Machine Head. Machine Head's one of the
all right up your alley.
First bands I ever saw at Ozfest, and I mean, talk about your life coming full circle, right? And then last summer, my buddy Sean Glass comes to me and Rob and is like, "Hey man, Machine Head is coming up on their 30-year anniversary, and they want to do a beer in the Chicago market to commemorate that. Are you guys interested?" And I said, "How do you know Machine Head?" What I find out is that Sean Glass knows everybody. So he big time local metal guy. He's in bands, and he knows everybody. So he hooks us up with Rob Flynn from Machine Head, and I'm having long conversations with a guy that I saw on stage when I was 16, and I'm telling him about that show, and he's telling me about that show.
How freaking
and he
cool
remembers
is
that show, and he's telling me about other Ozfest shows that he did, and when Ozzy got sick, and all that guy's story, like whatever story I can tell, that guy can tell a better story. So anyway, we developed a good friendship over the phone. We brewed the beer. He loves the beer. He wanted to do a West Coast IPA. Totally Rob's idea. We should call it Burn My IPA. The album was called Burn My Eyes, you know. And I just rolled with it, man. Whatever you want, Rob, because this guy he's so smart, man.
Right.
Like such a smart advertiser. If you look at, you may not know who Machine Head is, but I promise you millions of people do. And in Europe, they're selling out stadiums, you know, and the massive events that they have around the country are crazy, and it's a super popular band in that genre of music, and Rob knows how to get the word out, man. He really does.
Really cool.
Yeah. So we've learned a lot from him, and doing that beer with them was a really cool experience for our little tiny brewery here.
No, it's awesome. Okay, so obviously you make special stuff like that,
Yep.
and we also have like Natter, who's runs Beer Bazaar in
Yep.
Grays Lake, right?
Yeah.
So are any of the beers that you make here canned, and where could I get Black Lung?
We have cans here of some of our beers. We don't can them all. We just have some options for you to take home. So we got usually we have like Lung Light. Right now we have Burn My IPA, and we got some Pistachio Rose in bottles. That's a beer that we collaborated with Beer Bazaar on. So it's like a white stout, which is kind of a big, thick blonde ale with some pistachio and some rose flavor. It's supposed to be kind of like a baklava beer.
Okay. So that's that stuff. So do you just sell that here, or can people buy it?
You can buy that at the Pistachio Rose is available at Beer Bazaar in Grays Lake, and sometimes they have our other stuff too. I'm not sure what he's got right now, but he'll be putting that on draft pretty soon over there too.
Cool.
So
when you do stuff like that, is a goal of yours to have that at a lot of different liquor stores? Is that like something that's on your list of things to do?
We want to do distribution. We're still kind of slowly growing into that world. So we have a pretty select base of places where we deliver to right now. And it's mostly because of our size. Like most of our beer goes to our tap rooms, and then we try to like have enough for like Beer Bazaar and Beermiscuous and Highwood, and Antioch Fine Wines likes to have some of our stuff. So we got a couple accounts down south, and we just kind of stick to those smaller venues for now until we are in a position to increase capacity.
Sure. And you got your hands full, man.
We do. We got a lot going on. We got a lot going on,
That's
especially
for
with
sure.
summertime coming. We're gonna be
Yeah.
we'll be up to our eyeballs in brewing for Fox Lake. So
Yeah,
it's
so
gonna be the boaters like to drink. They're thirsty.
They are very thirsty. And just so everybody knows, so when you listen to this is being recorded in like spring of 2025. So,
Yeah.
Because I always laugh at everything we do. I'm like, I never like to put a date on it because 2 years from now,
Yeah, it's
somebody's
still
listening
relevant
to this
still, yeah.
and going, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
And they'll learn lots of new things as those come up. But the one thing I did want to talk about that's coming up like more is Lungfest.
Yeah.
Like that looks like it's going to be
Lungfest
awesome.
has become like our annual rock show. So we have like local bands coming out playing their original music. It's going to be a fun big production. We're going to do it in the courtyard at Fox Lake. The backdrop will be Lake Nippersink, and we'll be under the lights, and it's going to be, the beer will be flowing and the rock will be jamming, and it's going to be a great time. We've got the Flat Rats are headlining that for us. They're a band like out of Chicago. They're original rockers. Joey Accapiato band is going to be here playing. People may know Joey from Uncle Pigeon. That's one of his bands. But he's kind of doing more of a solo thing this year, and the guy is just he's awesome.
Cool.
Absolutely awesome. And then my cousin's Jacket and Orange Vega, man. Orange Vega's awesome. They're local guys. We have them here probably every other month or something like that, and they play so much stuff. They're just awesome. So it's going to be a great night.
Do I have to buy tickets to that?
Yeah, tickets for that are on the website, blacklungbrewing.com. Just go on there and click on the picture of Lungfest and buy your
and what
tickets.
is the date of that? Did you tell me the date?
Maybe June 7th.
June 7th.
Yeah.
June 7th, 25. So
June
if it's
7th,
past that, but it's an
25, yeah.
annual event that you
It is. We do it annually. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and then another big event the first event that we ever really did was Brewgrass. So we did.
I love that you use beer terms and everything you do.
It's a beer. It's a brewery. Yeah, everything's beer centric. So, Brewgrass is our big bluegrass festival that we do once a year. We've really we were doing like up 8 bands and stuff like that, and we've really tailored it back so it's like 4 bands. But it still takes up a long evening, afternoon, and evening. It's a fun festival, local bluegrass acts, and it's just it's a real good jam, and that's going to be in September 6th.
Wow. So your dates are piling up too, and summertime usually is where a lot of the craft beer festivals happen, right?
Yeah.
So do you have plans to be at any of the big ones coming up?
We'll be at all the local stuff. So I mean, we'll be at Mundelein, we'll be at Grays Lake Craft Beer Fest. We do a lot of stuff here with the village. They don't have a beer fest. They were working on doing one in Round Lake Beach. I'm not really 100% sure where they're at with that. Fox Lake doesn't really have a beer fest, but the chambers do some different stuff where they invite us out. Cool. So we're excited. We're excited about some stuff that we have going on too with the Grays Lake Chamber of Commerce. We're going to be doing their 75th year, 85th year? 75th year anniversary beer this year. So that'll be out by...
you're doing a special beer for Grays Lake.
Doing a special beer for those guys, yeah.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to make sure to get
And I'm from Grays Lake, so that's like, we kind of know those guys and
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, that's fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to need to get that just to have.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crusher. You're gonna like it. Yep.
Awesome, and I like the logo they put together for that because it looks pretty cool too. Okay, so as we're wrapping up, people want to find out what's going on, stay in touch. I know that you guys are heavy on socials. You guys have a really good following. So where do people follow? Where would their best place for them to get the most information?
Both breweries are on Blue Sky. We're also on Facebook, Instagram. We have a TikTok. So you can see kind of what we're doing behind the scenes on there. So follow Fox Lake, follow Round Lake Beach, and then you can always find us at blacklungbrewing.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think I just was looking at things, so it's like Black Lung, Fox Lake.
Yep.
Black Lung.
I think the way we have it
Brewery.
right now on like Instagram is Black Lung Brews and Bites out in Fox Lake,
Right.
and then Black Lung RLB is the Route 83 tap room.
That's where we're at right now. Okay, so I'm going to tip my hat because I do follow you on TikTok.
Yeah.
And my favorite TikTok video is a 10-year-old narration. I think it's, well, maybe because I got a little guy about that age.
Yeah.
But dude, it is.
Hey guys, it's Jack.
Right. It just made me smile. I rewatched it just to listen to
It's so funny. So. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah. And then it pans up and it says, let's effing brew. And he's like, oh.
It's great. It's great.
It's so funny.
But I like how you bring that in. You bring family.
Yeah,
in. It's just a lighthearted thing.
If family's not a part of it, then why are we doing it?
Right.
It's like my kids have been here. Jack will come in and help with some social media stuff like that. He even filmed a few of our TikToks. So there's a couple that are out there that he filmed for us. Charlie's been in here cleaning kegs and helping me fill kegs, and he can do like, he's man size now, like small man but man size, so he can help do some lifting and stuff. So yeah, and then my daughter Cheyenne will come in and help organize and things like that. So awesome. we put them all to work. Yeah.
As
it's their brewery too. They got to act like they own it.
Exactly. Anything else we want to tell Lake County? Anything? I know that you and I are going to get back together and we're going to do a different podcast in a while for some prize things we have coming up.
Yeah, we got some cool announcements coming up. We are always thinking about the future and things that we can do to improve Black Lung Brewing and to make it more appealing and things like that. So we got some really cool announcements coming up, but I think got really for right now.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
I appreciate you letting me in here. And it's kind of fun because you guys opened in 14 minutes.
Well,
and I think I'm going to go home and get my crew, and we're going to come back here and just sit here for Sunday Fun Day.
Cheers
So
to that.
cheers to you, brother. I appreciate it. Hold on as I drink it. Lake County, hey, I appreciate you guys listening wherever you're at, whether you're watching on YouTube right here, whether you're on Spotify, whether you're on Apple, wherever you guys are listening, do me a favor. And I love when people say, smash the subscribe button, because the coolest thing about this is I love to build community. So building community, we get to know people in our industry that you may not know, because how many people get to sit down and talk to you for an hour? And I think it's really cool. And
that's fun. Thank you.
I appreciate that. So make sure to subscribe so every week you get an announcement to let you know of somebody new and cool to listen to. And as I always end every show, make sure that to be aware that our friends, our family, even strangers on the street, we never, ever know what they're going through. So get out there, do one good random act of kindness today, whether it's holding the door for somebody, give them a smile, buy them a beer here at Black Lung.
Yeah, come on over. Or a cocktail.
And that's what I want to mention, too. There are cocktails here at both bars, right?
Yeah, both bars have cocktails, wine, mead, cider. And actually, we didn't really talk about Fox Lake all that much, but we do have a full kitchen with a great menu out there.
Yeah. Okay. So we missed. See,
I
always
it's
missed
okay.
the
It's only an
obvious.
hour. We didn't have
Right. Exactly. So Fox Lake for food. Do we have food here?
We have Ron's next door and food trucks all the time.
Oh, and food trucks all the time, which is food trucks are great.
They're fun. Yeah,
Absolutely. Love it. Then you could vary it up.
We switch it up constantly.
And then you don't have to worry about cooking the food either.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. See, we almost got everything.
Yeah.
But if you want to know, go follow on the socials and check everything out. So this is just our tease for everybody.
Yeah,
to come in.
exactly.
So Lake County, hey, wherever you guys are listening, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys all next week. Thanks again, buddy. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks a lot.